So when we look at the building blocks of various ancient structures around the world, we often wonder how the builders could have even begun to shape these hard materials with such precision using only the basic tools ascribed to those time periods. And indeed, if we knew nothing of their ancient status, we would conclude that they must have been created with sophisticated power tools. But power hand tools might not be the only way to achieve this. Undoubtedly, the ancients had much experience with earthquakes, seeing how their destructive power could reduce the labor of decades to rubble in just minutes, eventually leading them to become experts in building structures that were earthquake resistant. But being such keen observers and copiers of nature, could they have taken an additional hint? Earthquakes are vibrations and oscillations which can destroy, but can these vibrations and oscillations also be used to build? Oscillating a stone up and down as shown here amplifies effort as each positive phase pushes the stone against the downward force of the carving tool. This lower frequency oscillating technique will be very useful in the earlier stages of the carving process when large chunks need to be removed from the workpiece. Meanwhile, it is known that different sounds can produce geometric patterns in particulate matter such as sand, and that these patterns become increasingly complex and of finer quality as the frequencies become higher. Likewise, it could be deduced that higher frequencies could be used in the latter stages of carving to enhance the processing of hard materials. Vibrating hard rocks at their resonant frequencies, which are in the higher ultrasonic range, creates stress microfractures within the rocks, making them more susceptible to external loads and forces. However, great skill is still required with this technique, as ultrasonic resonant vibrations can permanently compromise the strength of a stone. The rock does not regain its former strength after extensive microfractures, even after the vibrations have ceased. This would be unacceptable if the fate of the workpiece was to be a load-bearing stone. A viable variation of the technique would likely involve vibrating the stone just outside of its resonant frequency while exposing it to the carving, cutting, or drilling force. The time span in which the workpiece is exposed to the energy would also have to be monitored. In this way, it is possible to temporarily weaken the stone just enough to significantly ease its processing while not causing permanent loss of its overall strength. However, if the goal is to destroy the rock, then intense vibration at its exact resonant mode for a sufficient time would permanently weaken it and may even cause complete disintegration, which would look like this. This is just sandstone, but the same could be achieved with harder stones with sufficient energy and precise frequencies. With such a technique, the idea of the ancients using basic tools to achieve such mass precision in hard materials becomes much more believable. The next question, of course, would be where the energy to power such proposed techniques would have originated. Was that the function of this mysterious contraption? Did it convert seismic energy from the earth into powerful acoustic energy, one form of vibration into another?